All right, put your arms way up high if you've got a case of the Mondays. Oh, whoo! Put those things down. Oh my God, that was a bad idea.
From Hollywood, welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
Portos, motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, dickheads. They all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.
Yeah, I'm about as righteous as Mark Wahlberg on Hallow. But hey, at least he's prayed up. I'm just kind of prayed out myself. All right, here's what's on deck today on the Wrap. What in the HE double toothpicks is the Mega Millions Lotto thinking? I'm going to debunk climate change for you once and for all today. California slumlord Governor Gavin Newsom shows his incompetence again, and you won't believe this one. Is there a Democrat running around D.C. with an STD? We'll find out. And an NCAA men's and women's finals update is on the way. Plus, we've got another round of head trauma. Today we're going to play Sounds Dirty, but It's Not. We'll also get into our usual loose behavior, including Saw It on the X, the celebrity cheese, your email from our Gmail, one more thing, and we'll wrap it up with shout-outs to Rat Nation. All right, did you happen to see where the Mega Millions Lotto has jumped the paper play to $5 from $2 starting this week? Yeah, you're going to pay $3 more per play. Yeah, they went for the gusto. They said, nah, not a buck. Let's go for the Finsky. Now, do you know who plays the lotto? People who dream. Poor people who dream about winning so much money. They're going to be knee-deep in it if they could just get struck by lightning one time. And typically, they have to scratch to put together a couple of bucks to play. $4 a week to play twice. So now they're going to play quadruple. Pretty much. They're jumping the price to play from $16 per month to $40 a month, basically if you're a regular player. Now, I predict this will lower the prize amounts, which will lead to fewer players. So it kind of sounds like we're, the lotto's being run by Democrats. Sorry, couldn't resist. But if you want to protest something, seriously, stop playing Mega Millions altogether. Stop it until they lower the price back down to $2 per play. Because if you don't, it'll raise all the other prices up eventually. Then nobody's going to be able to play the frickin' lotto. And I know a lot of people enjoy it, but, God, it's such a waste of money. Such a waste of money because you got to get struck by lightning. You really do. And it really sucks that they're starting to raise the prices on this. So even they ease the poor people out of dreaming big. All right, have you noticed the Democrats have stopped talking about climate change because, they're attacking Elon Musk right now. So even their hypocrisy, they know better. Put that on the shelf right now because we got to take down Elon. Then we'll get back to the climate change later. So let me take this opportunity to debunk the whole climate change debate and the Democratic money still here. Okay, did you know the United States makes up 1.87% of the Earth's surface? That's it, just 1.87%. And would you believe the U.S. population makes up only 4.14% of the Earth's population? There's 8.1 billion people on Earth. The United States has 335 million. Now, do you honestly believe if we do everything necessary to stop climate change in the United States, it's going to have an impact? And do you believe Democratic politicians who push this nonsense can control the weather? They can't manage a budget. You think they can solve climate change, save the world? Now, here are some climate events that happened that you might have missed because you weren't born yet. Now, back in the 1960s, scientists said all the oil would be gone in 10 years, so we better look for an alternative. Didn't happen. In the 70s, scientists predicted that we'd have another ice age in 10 years, and we'd freeze to death if we didn't change our ways. Didn't happen. In the 80s, acid rain was going to destroy all the crops, and we wouldn't have salad anymore in 10 years if we didn't make global warming a top priority. Then in the 90s, scientists predicted the ozone layer would be gone in 10 years, and we'd all fry like chickens on the barbecue. Didn't happen. In the early 2Ks, are you getting tired of this yet? Yeah. See what I'm saying? Scientists not only predicted the end of civilization on Y2K, they told us the ice caps would be gone within 10 years due to global warming. Now, eventually everybody, most people that had been around for a while, figured out that the scientists were full of BS. And the narrative switched from global warming to climate change. Kill one lie, let's start another. Green New Deal, yeah. Well, none of this nonsense has actually happened, but every time, you know what happened? Our taxes went up. Climate change is not a reality, folks. It's an excuse for government to siphon more money out of your pocket to line theirs. And this is why the Democrats are pissed off. Elon Musk has exposed them for their waste and fraud, so they can't dupe us anymore. They can't dupe us anymore. We know better. Hopefully more and more people are picking up on this. But hey, don't believe me. I want you to listen to Alex Newman. He's a trusted journalist on this stuff, done a lot of interviews on climate change. And you can decide for yourself.
It depends on the idea that carbon dioxide is pollution. And I would argue, after interviewing hundreds of scientists, including many who've worked for the UN IPCC, many of the leading scientists in the world, that the notion that CO2 is pollution is absolutely preposterous. We exhale about 2 pounds of it every single day. The proportion of greenhouse gases made up of human CO2 emissions is a fraction of 1%. The idea that that is going to destroy the planet or change the temperature of the earth is, frankly, in my opinion, totally ludicrous. But from a totalitarian perspective, if you can convince people that CO2 is pollution, there's no human activity that doesn't result in CO2 emissions, including living, including dying, turning on a light switch. Every single aspect of your life, then, if we submit to the idea that CO2 is pollution, then comes under the regulatory control of the people who claim to be saving us from pollution. So when they do these environmental studies and they say, well, your CO2 footprint will be smaller if you eat bugs or you do this, that, or the other, you drive an electric car, that doesn't show anything about whether that's going to benefit the environment.
Yeah, I've made my case. So what do you think? Is climate change real or is it BS? You know where I'm leaning. All right, California slumlord Governor Gavin Newsom showed his incompetence again. It's glowing like the sun. After the LA fires, Newsom promised to cut the red tape so cleanup and rebuilding could start immediately. Here we are 3 months later, and only 4 permits have been approved to rebuild Pacific Palisades. Now, I took a drive to Malibu over the weekend, and all the houses that burned along the coast are still there. They haven't been cleared out. And this is causing sea lions to get beached, they get caught on these old frames on these houses, and some die and some swim out to the ocean severely injured. Now, you would think at a minimum, the guy who wanted to save the fish that killed the water that would have put out the fires in Pacific Palisades, Gavin Newsom, along with L.A. Mayor Karen Bass, both Democrats, would have had the beaches cleared by now, 3 months later. Yet it looks like it did a week after the fires were put out. Now Newsom is threatening to undermine Trump's tariffs by making side deals with other countries. Now, when I first heard that, I got to admit, I got a little hot under the collar. And then I realized, well, hang on. It's Gavin Newsom. He isn't going to do squat. He can't clear a beach. He's just playing for the cameras. He's going to cut side deals on the tariffs. Sure. He's playing for the cameras, and that's it. That's it. All right, I believe you're familiar with Democratic Representative Eric Swalwell. You know, the guy who got busted for having hot, lovely relations with a Chinese spy. You know, he was nailing her good. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Well, he was busting Trump's balls over the weekend for playing golf on Saturday after the stock market went on sale on Friday. And is still on sale today, as a matter of fact. But I'm thinking, Jesus H. Christ on a popsicle stick. Does Swalwell, what a name, Swalwell. Does he have syphilis from banging Chinese spies, or did he forget that Joe Biden spent 577 days of his 1,463 days in office at the beach in Delaware? That's 39%. So again, here we go, proving once again it's okay for Democrats to screw off, but if a Republican does it, they want to impeach him. Complete Democratic dipshittery on steroids, folks. All right, congratulations to UConn on winning the women's NCAA championship on Sunday. I predicted South Carolina and UConn would play, and I took the Huskies to win it all, and they did. So I'm going to pat myself on the back on that one. But boy, did I screw the pooch on on the men's. Tonight it's Florida and Houston. I had predicted Florida and Duke in the finals, but Houston scored 11 points with 1:26 to play to beat Duke 70-67. I'm watching this, man, and I'm feeling like, God, the basketball gods are giving me the double finger bang right there. 11 points in 1 minute and 26 seconds to win the game. So I've got Houston winning tonight over Florida. A friend of mine called me over the weekend, and we played basketball together in high school, and he was reminding me of the time that we were playing in a game, and I'd come out of the game to take a break. He was at the foul line, and the cheerleaders were doing the usual, put it in, put it in, put it in. And since I was on the bench, I locked eyes with one of the cheerleaders, and I was going like, really, right now? You want to do it here, right now, in front of all these people? You really want me? Well, coach called timeout before he shot the second foul shot. And I'm there, making goo-goo eyes at the cheerleaders. Then I look at the coach, and sure enough, there's him and the whole entire team looking at me, like going, hey, Elliot, are you going to join the team in the timeout, or are you going to go chase the cheerleaders? What are you going to do? What do you think I did? Naturally, I went to chase the cheerleaders.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head Trauma.
No, I didn't. I joined the timeout. All right, let's play Head Trauma. Today's round is It Sounds Dirty, but It's Not. Here are your clues, and you tell me what you think I'm describing. I'm horny. I'm covered with kinky hair. I specialize in the butt. I'm horny. I'm covered with kinky hair, and I specialize in the butt. Remember, it sounds dirty, but it's not. But what is it? What do you think it is? I'll have the answer for you coming up a little bit later on in the podcast.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
It's Monday. Maybe we can do some extra special loose behavior for you today. All right. Slippery Tony posted this one. Name something you should never do naked. Pay attention because all but one are true. The Humble Texan said, play Twister. You should never play Twister naked. Is he kidding me? Everybody should play Twister naked at least once. All right, Marky Smitty Smith said ironing. Ironing's a bad deal. Yeah, if you've got a little extra hoodie down there, you bet. You stick to the iron? Ooh, that wouldn't be fun, would it? Cynthia Owen said, step outside your hotel room without your door key. Now, I traveled a lot, stayed in a lot of hotels, and I never did that, and I never saw anybody else do it. But I have a feeling that Cynthia did. And she was running around the hallways buck naked. And if I might add, don't slam the refrigerator door when you're 10 high, okay? Because that's when you hear this kind of singing.
Stars at night, a big and bright.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
Carrie Underwood and Papa Roach made a surprise appearance in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand on Saturday night to do a set of songs, including Last Resort. Hardcore Papa Roach fans were pissed off about this, saying if they wanted to see a country show, they would have gone to see Jelly Roll. I got to tell you, something's not right here. When you'd rather go see Jelly Roll and not Carrie Underwood, probably some sort of gender fluid thing happening there. Now, the remaining cast of the Goonies got together to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the film and put an end to the biggest rumor about the movie. And this is a big deal. I guess for 40 years, this rumor has been a big debate. The kids did see One-Eyed Willie's pirate ship before they filmed the scene. They did. Everybody thought they didn't. They thought it was just great acting. Now, I got to admit, I've never seen the Goonies. So go ahead. ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. Send me all the emails telling me I got to see the Goonies. Because Goonie fans, man, they attack me every time I say this. But I haven't seen the movie. I'm sorry. It just didn't appeal to me. But I'm relieved to hear, though, that at least One-Eyed Willie showed them his pirate ship. Nothing else. All right, prayers up, whatever the heck that means, to comedian Jeff Ross, who was hospitalized for having a bad reaction to a new flavor of ice cream that he tried. And his face swelled up nice and puffy. Now, that's not a good sight if you see Jeff Ross. I mean, Jeff. He's the king of roasting and toasting at when they roast people. So I would say this, Jeff, next time you decide to have a new flavor of ice cream, why not put it in the other end first? Because if your O-ring swells up, you'll know not to eat it. All right, congratulations to, Washington Capitals. Alex Ovechkin, I always call him Oven Chicken because I can't say his name. God bless America. Alex Ovechkin. There we go. I've called him Oven Chicken for so many years, I can't even say the guy's last name. So need to show him a little respect on this one. For breaking Wayne Gretzky's all-time NHL scoring record for putting 895 pucks in the net. Gretzky had 894. I got to tell you what, man, the Canadians, they certainly have had a bad 6 weeks.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, this is where you email your questions, comments, and observations to me at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. And I respond to them here on the show. No topic is off the table, and the more outrageous and salacious, the better. I do not read them in advance. My producer, Fleabag, forwards me your name, where you're from, and rewrites them so I can respond rapid fire and on the fly. All right, Willie P. from Rochester, New York said, on your X feed, you said stocks were on sale. Why aren't you in panic mode? Well, you know, every time I've panicked in my life, Willie, I lost money. So now I have a different approach to it after listening and reading a lot of stuff that Warren Buffett has talked about. And Charles Payne on Fox 2, he's pretty good. He recently wrote a book. And, you know, panic has, cost a lot of people a lot of money over the years. So I just wait and go shopping and buy more. Things that I already own. You get them for a lesser price. At dollar cost averages your money down. So when the stocks go back up, you're actually making money, you're making a profit, plus your dividend goes up if you buy more. So you give yourself a raise. You know, you can email me at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. I'll give you more information on what I do. And I've talked about this on numerous podcasts. So, Fleabag, let's kill these stock emails from now on, okay? I know for running low, we'll just do 5 instead of 6, okay? All right, Deborah M. from Bismarck, North Dakota said, here are 3 lesser-known Val Kilmer movies that are pretty good. Everyone should check out. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Kill Me Again, and True Romance. Oh, God, yeah, True Romance. That was written by Quentin Tarantino. That's a great movie. Tony Scott directed that. Oh, all-star cast. Val wasn't a lead in that. I think it was Christian Slater that was the lead. That's a fabulous movie. I watched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang over the weekend along with The Saint, and that's a good movie with Robert Downey Jr. Kill Me Again, that's the one he met Joanna Wally, his wife, when they filmed that film. I haven't seen that one yet, but I'll put it on the list. All right, Eddie D., Atlanta, Georgia said, I caught your blog piece about the top 10 rock debut albums, and I agree with 8 out of your 10, but I'd replace Aerosmith with Bad Company and Metallica with Soundgarden. Okay. Okay. You know what? I could see Bad Company replacing Aerosmith because that was a big, big debut album for them. And Aerosmith really didn't get traction until they did Get Your Wings, which was their follow-up album. So I can see that. But I can't give you the Metallica and Kill 'Em All with Soundgarden. Soundgarden didn't really debut until Super Unknown. The first debut benefited from Super Unknown. So I can't agree with you on that one. All right, Mike F. in Santa Fe, New Mexico said, you say it's impossible to stump you with TV, movies, music, and sports trivia. But I've got one I know you're not going to get. Really? All right, name an NFL Hall of Famer who appeared in a box office smash and had a hit TV series. Okay, so we've got him playing in the NFL. He's in the Hall of Fame. Okay, Fleabag, I'm going to need the Jeopardy theme here for a second. Okay. NFL Hall of Famer who appeared in a box office smash and a hit TV series. Who can it be? Oh, my God. I'm sweating bullets. No, actually, it's Alex Karras. He played for the Detroit Lions, made the Hall of Fame about 4 or 5 years ago. Was in the movie Blazing Saddles as Mongo. Remember? Mongo like candy. Also in Porky's and FM. He also had a hit TV show called Webster. Now, I can't think of who played Webster off the top of my head. My God. Alexa, who played Webster on Webster?
That little scallywag, Emmanuel Lewis.
Ah, the scallywag Emmanuel Lewis. That's it. Thank you. All right, Melissa K., Bend, Oregon said, you always say it's a red flag if a girl has a lot of guy friends from high school and college on Facebook. Isn't it a red flag for guys too? Or is this one of those double standards men get away with? No, Melissa, it works both ways, okay? I think when you got the high school and the college and you're out of those years, it should be close friends and family. I mean, you still got close friends from college and high school, but when it's just loaded with people that maybe you just knew in the hallways, I think that's a little freaky. But that's just me. It's just me. Freddie D. in Hamburg, Germany. Freddie D. said, on your comparison between blondes and brunettes, you left out one of the most important ones. Who's easier to get in the bed, blondes or brunettes? Okay, well, that wasn't part of the study. But if you're asking me my personal opinion, I think you got to go with blondes on that one. All right, if you have any observations, comments, or questions, send them to ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. And we'll answer Any question. Nothing is off the table, ladies and gentlemen.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, it sounds dirty, but it's not. Let's get to the answer. Here were your clues again. I'm horny. I'm covered with kinky hair, and I specialize in the butt. All right, what do you think it is? If you guessed a ram,
Correctamundo.
you got it right. And if you missed it, go see a doctor about your head trauma and get well soon. All right, I got to go melt some earwax, but I do have one more thing for you. Did you know in 1985, 40 years ago, there was a condom delivery company from Harvard University that had the slogan, "We'll come before you do." Now, here's the kicker. Are you ready for the kicker? Here comes the kicker. The students who ran this service are now members. You hear it coming, don't you? The United States Congress and Senate.
Holy shit.
Yeah. All right, let's do a few shout-outs to Rat Nation. Zach Crawford in Dallas, Texas. Blythe Morrison in Topeka, Kansas. Skylar Hayes in Montpelier, Vermont. I think that's the capital of Vermont, too, if I'm not mistaken. David McTavish in Charleston, South Carolina. Jared Johnson in Irvine, California. So thank you all very much for joining the club and being members of Rat Nation.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
All right, that's it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Be sure to check out the new ratsasspodcast.com to connect with us on the socials. Listen to podcasts, join Rat Nation, and read the blog. Filled with current events, entertainment news, music, the radio wars, sports, sex. Oh, yes. Oh, it's all about the sex. And the Dumbass Award so far for 2025. We'll get together again on Wednesday, April 9th. Take care of each other, and thanks again for dropping by.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.